the number of years I was with the government, you see the evolution of the empowered consumer. At the same time, there are a couple of secrets what I've found after coming to the private sector. And what are the secrets? Obviously, the secret is the convenience. You think of the Bikash app, you think of the Daraz app, you think of the Food Panda, you think of anything that is making or that is bringing change, and also that is bringing the convenience for us, right? So the first thing is convenient. And then next part is obviously the speed, because you can send the money to somebody within second. That is speed. So if you want to have the NID, I was talking to somebody and he said that he applied for the NID and it is almost 2 years they did not get the card. So there comes the speed. So you need to understand the convenience and the speed. And the last part is proactiveness. How come the proactiveness comes into the private sector? Because now anything happens, the service provider, they actually follow it up. They follow it up with you. So think of like any of the provider who is actually providing service to you, and then they follow it up with you, whether the service was provided better or not. I think you know it. So these three things, these are the secret for providing a better service. So if you talk about the service for the private sector, and then you come back with that same understanding what can be done for the public sector. Public sector means is the government. So thinking to the understanding that today, since we are using Daras, we are using Bikash, we are using different apps. So I can tell you that now the expectation level of the subscriber or the user has come up. Since it has come up, so can you think of like going to the private or public office and waiting for some service, and it is taking 6 months. So if it is taking 6 months, that means you are not happy about it. And how to make it happy, or how to make it make that journey happier, that I'm coming soon. And also, the government is having the data. The government has the data. So since the government has data, so if the government has data, then government would know that what is the changing understanding of the customer, because customers are not happy. So actually now government has the data to understand what is the need of the data or need of the understanding of the changed citizen. So this is what also is being looked after. So the first thing is that we have to actually provide the eligibility, whether I'm eligible or not. Because if I need to have the NID, if I need to have the passport, if I need to have the birth registration, if I need to have anything, there has to be some eligibility criteria. Like if I am born, I will be provided with the birth registration. My age is 18, I will be provided with the NID. So my point is, everything can be automated. Like the day I'm born, that means my hospital or the doctor or the person or the parents, those who are responsible. So if there is a law that within 45 days, I have to be enrolled. I took birth and I have to be enrolled within 45 days. And then the government will give a incentive for 2,000 taka. I think everybody will be on board. That means birth registration will be done by the hospital by itself, even with the parents going to the nearest healthcare center. So I'm just saying it is done and it can be done. And also we have to fill up the longer forms. I know that for NID, for passport, for everything, we have to fill up the same thing over and over again, right? So why do I need to fill up every time if I have to ask for a service from the government? And also, we have to go to the office in person. And the moment I go to an public office in person, then there's something which is difficult and which is also different, which I don't want to talk about it. And also, we talk about the documentation validation, because the documentation, it has to be validated. And when we bring in the document, which is like the photocopy document, we don't know whether it is tampered or not. So the validation is also a difficult part. At the same time, come next week. This is the another thing that, okay, come next week or come next month. So this cannot be a automated process. So this is why actually we need to understand that what has happened in the public sector, that means in the government. We called it that everything is online. I'm telling you, in the first wave of the automation, people talks about digital Bangladesh, people talks about everything. It is all about making everything accessible online, making things accessible online. That means it is not digital. It is making things accessible online. That means you can go to the NID website, you can go to the passport website, you can go to many, many websites, you can actually go there. But the process behind it is still analog. The process has to be automated. The process has to be also digital. So that is the point, what we are saying. So next step, what we are saying, that life-based event. That means the every event actually happens around us. So when we talk about the life event-based thing, let me talk about the birth registration certificate. It happens when you're born. It should be automatic because the hospital will be enrolling to the system, and also if you're not born in the hospital, then the parents will take care of it, that your birth registration has been automatically done. And then at the age of 6 or 8, you will be provided with the UID, the unique ID. So the unique ID will happen once you are actually going to the school. It will be happening once you are at the age of 6 or 8. So I'm just saying, this is a chronological process, just like programming. Like at the age of, at 0 age, you will be given the birth registration. At the age of 6 and 8, you will be given the unique ID. And at the age of 18, you will be given the NID. Why do I need to fill it up? My point is, why do I need to fill it up, the NID? Because it is there. It is the government responsibility to actually call me up, say, okay, please come to this office for this date. We need to take your photograph and 10 print you, and then you'll come back, and then you'll be provided with the NID. So the point, what I'm saying, it is from the programming mindset. I'm not talking about AI. Yes, I have written many, many books on AI, but I'm not talking about AI here. What I'm talking, it is the process, how to make things proactive, not reactive. Like, okay, I have taken birth, or I'm born, so I'm after being, like, coming to this world, now I'm taking action. My point is, like, when I'm born, that means the system will take care of itself. The system will take care. And that is the thing what we are saying, that at the age of 18, I will not apply for the NID. No, the government knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody has the data. All the agencies have the data. So why I have to apply for it? And then let me tell you one thing, that because I'm traveling the world, I have traveled the world, and I've told you that I've traveled so many countries. I think I did not go to the Antarctica, but other places. So I'm just saying, since I have traveled the world, I have seen, like, previously we used to carry the passport and e-ticket. But right now, when we travel when we travel outside, we don't need to carry any ticket. Do I need to carry any ticket? Can you please tell me? Do I need to carry any ticket? I need to only carry a passport, because the passport has been linked to the e-ticket. If you just go to the the airline counter, if you just give your passport, you will be provided with the boarding pass. There's no ticketing system, because the ticket has been already incorporated to the boarding pass. And if you actually, like, if you go to US, if you go to Australia, and if you go to many, many places, you'd find that while you will be coming back from that country, you will see that there is no border control. That means there is nobody to give a seal while you're coming out. Why? Why? Because the moment you have been issued with the boarding pass, the moment you have been issued with the boarding pass, the country itself, they have connected the boarding pass system to their border gate system. They have said that, okay, this person has already moved out. So why do I need to have a seal that he's going out? It is extra level of bureaucracy. So this is what I'm saying, that needs to be automated. This is the part of the automation what I'm talking about. And obviously, the application-less services, I, I don't want to apply for anything. I'm telling you, I don't like to apply for anything, even for applying to the universities, because everybody has the data. So that is what we are saying, that how to automate the invisible government. And actually, I was talking to Tushar Bhai. Actually, in some places, and also in future, you would actually see that the government will be shrinked. The government would be smaller. And how the government would be smaller? Because by automation. And how the government would be invisible? Because the government is just like air. Obviously, this is also another problem, that we need to have the eligibility check, whether I'm 18 years or not. So to understand whether I'm 18 years or not, do you think that you need to apply for it, sir? Because at the age of 18, you're already eligible. Government knows it. Why do I need to apply? So this is the point. And at the same time, like, you want to have the driving license. So since we want to have a driving license, maybe it needs some of your consent. Yes, because some of the people, they don't want to drive. They don't want to take the driving license. But the person who wants to take the driving license, he can apply just having the NID data, just like the Shurokap. Do you see? Because I was with the government, and I'm telling you, the Bangladesh government has done a wonderful job doing a Shurokap, and this is the proactive application. This is a very good proactive application, which I can cite in many years to come. So you can apply, just give your NID, that's it. NID and the SMS, that's it. So I'll come why the SMS part comes in. And also, this is where I come in, that why do I need to apply for, or why do I need to have a formal application? Because these are life event based services. At the age of 18, at the age of these, or maybe while I will be having the tax identification number, why do I need to apply for the tax identification number? Because government knows that I'm earning beyond this amount of money. So while I'm going beyond this amount of money, government knows about it. They will issue a tax identification number automatically. So this is what we are talking about. So I was telling that since government has all the data, why do I need to apply? So this is also another thing, that there are things which are automatic, that like birth registration, it should be automatic. It should be automatic. The day you are born, it should be automatic. The unique ID in the school, it should be automatic, because that's trigger. And then the NID, it should be automatic, because at the age of 18, the government should give you SMS or email that please come so and so, and that this office, come here, give your thumbprint and picture, and please go. I will send you the NID in maybe 2 weeks. Same is with the health card. Same is with the social safety net, for a lot of allowances, for widow allowance, maybe for the person who are vulnerable. So those person needs to be provided with the allowance. So I'm telling you that for the social safety net allowance, if you want the people to apply for it, then it's not going to work, because these people, they don't have access to the system. So if these people do not have access to the system, then how can they even understand that this is the part they want to apply? And this is what we have seen in the different government, that if you want people to apply, then maybe 37% people would apply. And if you want these things to be done automatically, then maybe 100%. So the government wants to have the coverage of 100%. Then why do you want them to apply? Because you have the data. So this is what we want to talk about, the automating things. So what is proactive public service? It is using the existing data, and it checks whether you are eligible for it or not. Like you are the age of 18, or you are the age of 6, or you have been born. So these are the eligibility checks. And for social safety net, okay, for any allowances, you know that this person doesn't have the enough money to actually cover his cost. So the allowance has to be automatic. So this is the part that needs to be done. And finally, trigger the evasion, trigger the provision. And this is what I'm saying, that I have not talked about anything AI, but I will talk about the AI, because now I don't know whether any of the children, they are addicted or not. So now the government has the data, government can actually predict if somebody is actually going into that phase or not. Then before a person becoming addicted, the government can track it, and they can actually help that person from becoming addicted. So this is what the government can use with AI. So, and the final thing that needs to be also happen, that while the government is sending the SMS and also email, that needs to be legally bind. If that communication is being done, and if people say that this is not acceptable in the court, then there's a problem. That means the email and the SMS what would be sent from the government, that has to be legally bind. That means the government has to acknowledge that this is the thing. You don't need to have to print it and then show it to somewhere. So that needs to be also done. So obviously, are we ready? Being Bangladesh, are we ready? Since I was in the government for 32 years, and that's why I have written this book, Krittim Buddhimattaye Manobik Rashtra. Krittim Buddhimattaye Manobik Rashtra. This is what I've written for working in the government for 32 years. Because I have seen how people have suffered and how people are suffering. So this is what we could do, at least to automate the difficult part. Obviously, this is the boring part. That's what I've said, that to actually automate this part, and it can be done. You said all the thing, check, yes, 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 everything is yes, because we have a beautiful NID. Actually, if you go to many of the country, many countries do not have a NID system like us. I'm telling you, many countries do not have the NID system like us. And the accuracy of the data, because I have worked with specialized agencies in the government for many years, so I know that the data accuracy is really good. I'm telling you, it is yes. And the third thing is like ability to exchange personal data, obviously, because you've seen the Surakha app. The Surakha app was talking to the NID, and the Surakha app was also talking to the mobile operator SMS service. That means these are connected. The Surakha app, what I'm saying, NID is connected to the passport. Passport is also connected to the BRTA. The BRTA is also connected to many things. I'm just saying, even the education board is also connected to NID. So I'm just saying, many things are interconnected. So it's a yes. It's yes for us. And the last thing, obviously, the electronic messages which are being sent from the government, whether it is a SMS or email, that has to be legally bound. That means that the court should not challenge that this is a fake thing. If you have that document, if you have that information, that means I'm eligible for NID, the SMS has come to me, that means it has to be a proper document. It cannot be, nobody can challenge it, it's a proper document. So obviously, our country is ready for PPS, the proactive public service. We are ready for it. And obviously, what is the first step? To my understanding, we need to assign a person which can be a national data, that means national chief data officer. Thank you.